Welcome to North Carolina A&T's Coaches Show, where we talk all things basketball with men's coach Monte Ross and host Spencer Turkin and many other guests. And now, here's your host, Spencer Turkin.
Welcome inside historic Moore Gymnasium. This is the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show featuring the head coach Monte Ross. I'm your host, the voice of Aggies basketball, Spencer Turkin, joined by my partner on the road for our games on the Aggie Sports Network, Brian Holloway. Excited to have the entire men's basketball team here with our AAF donors and members. So we appreciate everybody coming on out to enjoy this wonderful evening before we play Monmouth tomorrow night at the Corbett Sports Center, a 7 p.m. tip-off. Brian, it seems like CAA play early on has revealed that any given night, anything can happen top to bottom in this league. What are your initial thoughts as the Aggies have started conference play and are starting to get into the swing of things here in the CAA?
Yeah, I think my initial thought is I go back to my first girlfriend. It's heartbreaking. I mean, we've had some really close games down the stretch, when I think about at Hampton, we had a double-digit lead. The other night against William & Mary, the buzzer beater. I mean, we just had some really, really heartbreakers here. But there's a lot of basketball still to be played. There's some more home games that still to be played. And then, when I think about it, early in the conference season, we had to play here without our students. And I think that made a big difference, that they are worth 5-10 points. So, that was also disappointing that we weren't able to play in front of, the crowd that we normally are used to playing in front of early in the conference season.
Well, this North Carolina A&T squad, as we've heard, we've studied the roster, they're young. They're still trying to figure it out. As now we come down to the middle portion of this conference slate, do you feel like having some games under the belt, that could start to propel this team to some W's in the win column?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is their first, really run through conference season. I mean, Coach Ross talks about it all the time. A lot of these guys, it's their first time in conference play and getting used to that type of thing. And so I think as we kind of move on a little bit here, we're going to be able to, get acclimated to conference play and just the toughness of it. But I'll tell you, there's no team that we've seen so far, or I've seen on Flow College, where I still feel like they're better than us. I mean, I think we have a lot of talent. I think we have a very talented basketball team. It's just about the finish and finishing all the way to the end. But certainly, this is a very talented team. You got a shooter, you got a stretch forward that can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. We'd love to have Will Felton. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome, man? And just his rebounding ability. But we got a guy in Lamoth that can do it all. Very versatile player. He can pass the ball, defend, rebound. At one point, he was leading the CAA in minutes. So we've got the talent. It's just about putting it all together.
Well, the Aggies return home after a game at William & Mary. You mentioned the heartbreak buzzer beater. But now coming home, students have moved in. Club Corbett should be rocking tomorrow, and it definitely will be on Monday night, 9 p.m. tip against Hampton. So you got two chances at home to redeem yourselves, to figure things out, and to get those important wins and kind of take a little pressure off. If A&T can see the ball go through the bucket tomorrow early in that game, do you feel like it'll take a little bit of that pressure off and maybe just ease the tension and help this team get to that point of winning, learning that skill of winning?
Yeah, I think it takes one. It just takes one win to kind of get everybody rolling, to get everybody believing it. Once you get that one, it might be a snowball effect. It might just kind of keep going. Monmouth is going to be fun. I think Hampton's really going to be fun. It's a late night start, 9 o'clock, and so that's right up the alley of students, right? The older crowd might not like a 9 o'clock start, but certainly our students will. And so, I just think, just to get that one win and just kind of get that snowball effect going, and we'll be ready to go.
Plenty coming up here in the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show featuring the head coach, Monte Ross. We will talk to the head man coming up on the other side of this timeout. We'll also welcome John Lamoth to the program as he gives some insight on what it's been like to be in an Aggie uniform for a little bit over a semester now. And then associate head coach Jeff Rafferty will also join the show. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight to historic Moore Gym. Plenty more coming up after this timeout right here on the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Stay tuned. The Coaches Show will be back after these messages.
Using these type of cleansers could be damaging and stripping your skin. I use new Olay cleansing melts every day. Just soak, activate, and wash to clean, tone, and refresh. That's a 3 times better clean. Olay.
6,000 universities. Why choose North Carolina A&T? We graduate more African American students in engineering, journalism, liberal arts, and agriculture than any other campus anywhere, period. Our grads earn more right out of school than all but one other university system peer. And 96% of Aggie alums say they wish they can do it all over again. Can you feel the pride? You will. A&T. Always doing, never done.
Good morning, America. Today, thousands of our teammates will make and deliver over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally, in towns large and small. From the heartland to the coast, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose. We love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Vice President Kamala Harris is bringing the Fight for Our Freedoms college tour to North Carolina A&T State University today.
Why A&T specifically?
The history and legacy of a people is 400 years of oppression.
We have always been able to adjust and adapt to whatever is thrown at us. And I think that just speaks to the resilience of our community.
You did it, Aggies!
Welcome back to the show.
Or Gymnasium, the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show, featuring the head coach Monte Ross, rolls on. As the head man joins me up here at the podium. Coach, appreciate you being here tonight, bringing the whole team out to mingle with AAF members. It seems like having everybody here together, it's been a common theme with this squad. These guys genuinely enjoy being around each other. It seems like despite everything that's gone on, the mood in the locker room has been positive.
It's been, I like this group. I really like this group. And I would say this even if they weren't all sitting here. But I do, one of the reasons that I like them is because whatever we ask them to do, they die trying to do it. And you don't find that with every team. And I'll start with how hard they play. This is a group that leaves it out there for 40 minutes every single night. We play from tip to buzzer. Not saying we always play smart, but we play hard. When you have that, when you start with that, playing hard as they do every single minute, good things are going to happen for us. And I told these guys before the William & Mary game, I said, my anxiety does not lie in are we good enough? Are we going to be right there? My anxiety lies in every game, conference game, we've had like a 2 or 3 minute stretch where it hurt us because we missed free throws or missed layups or didn't execute or that sort of thing. We didn't really have that type of stretch in the William & Mary game. And I told him at one point in a timeout, I was like, look, this is it right here. This is that time where we got to lock in, be mentally focused, and do what we have to do. And they did. They did. Like I said, you know, everything that we asked them to do, they do. And you know what? It's crazy to say this, and I hope the fans don't take it the wrong way. When I go into practice every day, it doesn't feel like that we're 0-5 in the conference play. It really doesn't, because and all our practices are open, so if you want to challenge me on it, anybody's welcome to come to our practices. If you watch these guys practice every day, you would think that we're 5-0, just in terms of how hard they get after each other. There's no And I think part of it, and I hope part of it, I hope most of it is, one of the things that we really ask them to do is let's be committed to the process without being emotionally attached to the results. And if you can do that in any stage in life, whether you're in business, whether you're in sales, whether you're in whatever field you're in, if you can be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results, you have a great, great chance of being successful.
Coach, you mentioned that this team has been on the doorstep a few times now. In conference play especially, have not been blown out in any game, been right there, have led in every game. But that 2 to 3 minute stretch minus the William & Mary game has plagued this squad. When you see that and you feel like this team has been very close to it, what is the missing ingredient to notching that W? Is it just the experience of winning and having to learn how to win?
Experience is a big part of it. It's a big part of it. One of the things that I always talk about is we have to learn how not to lose before we learn how to win. And how not to lose is the self-inflicted things that we've been doing to lose games. So that's what excites me is, like, if it was teams just beating us in the head every single night and we just, and I told the guys this, I'm always open and authentic with these guys. I tell them, you know, I'm 54 years old. I don't have time to be lying to no 17, 18, 19, 20. No, because I don't want anybody lying to my son. I don't want anybody lying to my daughter. So I'm open and authentic with these guys. And, you know, we had a really, I was going to say a really good conversation today, but I think they had a good listen and I had a good talk. Like, and what it was just, I'm letting them know, like, look, if we just keep beating the door down, I promise you, I've seen this before, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So a part of it is that experience that we have to get. We have to go through it. Now, it's important that we don't continue to make the same mistakes. As long as we're learning from the mistakes that we've made in the past, we're going to be fine. Because like Brian said earlier, I've had an opportunity to watch every team in the league, with the exception of one. And bring it on. I'm not, you know, and I told these guys, man, I said, look, once we get right, once we get this experience, once we stop making those self-inflicted mistakes and everything, I'm not worrying about a single soul, not a single soul. And that's like, it might be crazy for me to say for where we are right now at being 0-5, but that's how I feel about this group. That's how I feel about how they practice every single day. And I know, like, they're going to leave it all out there every single day, whether it be practice or a game. And we just have to cut out the self-inflicted wounds, and we're going to be fine.
Coach, you and I have spoken about this many times off the air, but you seem to get your teams playing their best basketball towards the end of the season, which in a one-bid league like the CAA is obviously the most important time of the year. So as you work towards that buildup, is it just reminding you, the staff, the guys, that there's one goal here, and that is to play your best basketball in the second week of March?
Yes. And you know, that's something that, you know, we've talked to the guys about, that, you know, all of the teams that I've had have done that, because I think it speaks to a couple of things. One thing it speaks to is you have to have a group that's together, no matter what has happened. It's redundant, but you go back to that being committed to the process. The other thing is you're able to play your best basketball end of January, February into March if you continue to practice hard every single day. And again, you know, if you come to our practices, these guys, they practice hard every single day. When they're out there in practice, they look like they enjoy being with one another. Sometimes I think they enjoy being with one another a little bit too much for my liking. The fun and stuff that they like to have out there on the court. We have one guy, I'm not going to say his name, like, he probably, and you know what, we probably had two guys. Like, they shoot, every time we get together, every time we
break apart. Like, they have to shoot a half-court shot. It's like, it's unbelievable. Like, and they love to shoot half-court shots. And at first, my inclination was to say, yo, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? We don't have to. But, you know, I try to let them live their best life. I try, like, it's not affecting our preparation and our, you know, practice and everything. But it's like, it's crazy. Like, they have to shoot a half-court shot. Like, you two know who I'm talking about. They have to shoot a half-court shot every single. But it's part of their makeup. It's part of what they like to do. So, I mean, as long as it doesn't affect our preparation, I'm like, okay, go ahead, shoot your half-court shot.
I'll share the flip side of that, though. They're practicing in case their number gets called in the middle of the game to shoot the half-court shot, and they have to make it for three very important points.
Well, we've had some opportunities.
I haven't seen one go in yet. Not in the game. I'm still waiting.
They're saving it. They're saving it for later on in the year.
You know, now that we're talking about this, it might happen in the next couple of games.
Yeah, you know what? It might. We'll see how it might. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They watch. They practiced it enough, so it should go in. It should go in. But again, I think that's, to me, that's part of the makeup of the group and letting them. And what I'm hoping that they understand, especially the new guys and the newer guys, understand that I give leeway if you give me what I'm asking. Yep. Like, if you practice hard, when we do our defensive shell, if you're giving us all you got, if you know, sharing the ball, playing the right way, taking care of the basketball and all that type of stuff, I'm you know, I give leeway when I just get wacky sometimes. Sometimes I counsel aggressively when they don't give us, you know, what we need to have. But for the most part, they do. They give us what we need. That's why I like this group.
Coach, the injury bug has hit this team a couple of times hard. You lost Will Felton early in the year. Bryson Ogletree, now back after missing 14 games, has been a real spark off the bench. Nikos Hidikoutis went down with a lower body injury the other day. But the part about this squad that I really like to highlight is that the next guy up has been ready to go immediately. There hasn't been a lull where you've had to wait for someone to come along. They've been ready to go from the time their number was called. Does that play into the mental toughness of this squad?
It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do to not have your number called for a certain amount of time, and then when your number's called, you're able to perform. But I thought Stratos did an unbelievable job on Saturday when Nikos went down. I thought he was really locked in, really in tune. Now, like we all go through, it's going to be a learning curve for him. There's going to be certain situations that he hasn't been in or extended periods of time that he has to get used to. And our guys have to get used to it and help him with that. Jason Murph hasn't played a whole lot, but like, we're going to need him now moving forward. Tomorrow night, we're going to need him, to help Stratos, to spell Stratos and that sort of thing. So we're expecting Murph to be ready to go. And that's the expectation for all these guys. And I always tell them, unfortunately, I told them before the season started, in the summertime, whatever, you have to stick with it, because in college basketball, unfortunately, injuries happen, sickness happens. You never know when your number is going to be called. Shame on you if your number is called and you're not ready because you were not going through the reps the way that you should have been because, oh, well, I ain't going to play, or I'm only going to play 2 minutes, so I'm not going to play hard. And then when your number is called because of injury, of illness, or whatever the case may be, then you get those extended minutes and you're not ready. So you always want to be ready. And one of the things, one of our mantras is, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you try to shortcut it, if you try to cheat the game, if you try to cheat life, it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you. And we want these guys to do right and then trust the consequences of what happens when you do the right thing.
Coach, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll look forward to the next 2 home games, a little bit down the road in conference play, and a little bit more in depth on this squad. Looking forward to diving a little bit more into this team. And then later on in the program, John Lamoth will be joining us, as well as associate head coach Jeff Rafferty. That's all next, right here on the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Stay tuned. The Coaches Show will be back after these messages.
The Aggie Athletic Foundation is the official fundraising arm for North Carolina A&T Athletics. By making an investment in athletics, you're providing resources that leverage our ability to recruit highly motivated student athletes who train and compete at the highest level of Division I athletics. For more information about this campaign and the AAF, please call 336-285-3063 or visit our website at aggieboosters.com. Fans, be sure to visit longtime North Carolina A&T sponsor Smitty's McDonald's. 3 locations in Greensboro, including Summit Avenue, right near campus. Stop by or use your favorite delivery app today.
I have seen significant changes in my skin. Good Molecules is everything.
My skin looks flawless. My skin is just glowing, and who doesn't want that?
Good Molecules made an amazing difference in my skin. My skin has glowed up completely.
Hyperpigmentation cleared up a lot. My skin tone is a lot smoother.
I've truly seen a difference in my skin. Now I have confidence, and now I'm glowing.
I feel confident in my skin once again, thanks to Good Molecules.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back out to more Gymnasium. Spencer Turkin, the voice of Aggie basketball, joined by the head coach Monte Ross here at the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show. North Carolina A&T back in action tomorrow night at 7 p.m. against the Monmouth Hawks, returning to the Corbett Sports Center. It'll be a much welcome trip back to the home floor. The student section will be back in town. What kind of difference does the dog pound make, Coach, when you're trying to amp up the crowd and rattle that visiting team that might not be used to an environment that's as raucous as what we have here at North Carolina A&T?
Well, you know, one of the things when I got hired, people were telling me about Club Corbett, and Club Corbett is real. Like those fans come out, they support, they're loud, they're passionate, they're energetic, and when you add the students into that mix, it's a special place. Yeah. It's really a special place. So we're really looking forward to the students coming out tomorrow night, and good to have them back, good to be off vacation for them, and we're excited. We're excited. We're really looking forward to, because, you know, they are worth some extra points. They are worth some extra points, and they actually may be worth some extra calls, too.
Yeah, the officials really don't enjoy having everybody as close to the court as they are, but it's an intimidating bunch of fans when everybody is hovered on the baseline and on the sideline, and they're letting their voices be heard. And it seems like as the season has gone on, as your tenure here has gone on, that the student section has become even more in tune with what's taking place out on the floor, and they're starting to make noise at the right times.
And I'm hoping that it's a tribute to our guys in terms of how hard they play. We have an exciting group, and they're going to continue to get that from us. They're going to continue to get hard play, smart play, and I think but you're right. Like they are a knowledgeable crowd in terms of when to yell, when not to yell, when to get on the opponents, when to get on the stripes, and all that. So it's a loud and intelligent crowd, and again, we appreciate the heck out of them. And I'd be remiss if I didn't, thank all the fans who came out tonight, the AAF members. Thank you very much. What you do and your support drives me every single day in terms of building a championship team that you can all be proud of and that you will come to get used to around here again with Aggie basketball. So we're driven to do it. We're going to do it. But thank you so much for your support as we build towards that.
You're building a true program. It's not just a team. You're trying to build a real program, and that includes AAF, that includes alums, it includes the players, the coaches, obviously, support staff. How difficult is it in this day and age with NIL, transfer portal, pretty much free agency every year, to actually build a culture of a program and to have it stay consistently here on the east side of Greensboro?
Well, we'll find out. I think after our first year, we didn't really get hit by portal, NIL, and that sort of thing. But part of it is because of the contributions that we have, and we were able to give our players some money. And, I think they appreciated that. When you add in, and then we talked to the players about this, A&T is a special place. It is a really special place. And when you add in the experience that they get on the basketball court, just from the support from fans and that sort of thing, you talk about the academic prowess of the school, and then you talk about the social aspect of A&T. Again, I'm a little biased, but if I'm a player and I have an opportunity, and then you tell me on top of that, hey, we're going to give you a few dollars too, well, this is a heck of a place to be. And, it's funny. We've had people that have reached out to us and saying, making certain inquiries about our program and things like that, which is, it's exciting because we're doing the right things, and we're doing things the right way. One of the things I told the guys today, again, giving you a peek behind closed doors, is we're always going to be open and honest with them, and I'm always going to treat them like they are my son, because I've asked their parents to entrust me with their pride and joy. So I owe it to them. And one of my things today was, it may be selfish of me, the reason why I'm like that, because one of the reasons is karma never loses an address. Karma is going to find you no matter where you are. So I firmly believe if I don't treat these young men a certain type of way, then someone could mistreat my son, or someone could mistreat my daughter. So it may be selfish driven as to why I do it, but I know it's the right thing to do. I know, and I hope that they feel it, that I'm never going to tell them anything that's going to steer them wrong, whether it be on the court or off the court, in life and business or wherever. I'm always going to give it to them straight, and I'm always going to tell them what's going to help them. They think I'm an old fogey right now, and just like they do their parents and all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting, I had a conversation. When these guys become 23, 24, 25 years old, their parents and their old coaches become much smarter. They become much smarter because now they're starting to go through those experiences that we talked about as a parent, or that we talked about as a coach, or that someone talked about as a professor. So now it's starting to look like, I ain't really had time for all that when I was 20, but now, wow, I appreciate those lessons. I appreciate those sermons, Coach, that you gave us every whatever. And again, that's what we're trying to do. We want these, and I tell them all the time, I just want you guys, I want you to be successful after basketball. The basketball part of it's going to take care of itself. I want you to come back 5, 10 years from now with a degree in hand, a job in hand, a family in hand, and be able to say, hey, Coach, here's a picture of my wife. Here's a picture of my son. Here's a picture of my daughter. I want that. That's what drives me every single day, and I just want that for these guys. And again, my goals, aspirations, and whatever has changed since I was a first-year head coach at the University of Delaware at the age of 35. And now, 19 years later, almost 20 years later, my focus has changed. Not my desire to win has not changed. I'm still as competitive as can be, but I understand now the importance, and I tell these guys, the world doesn't care about you once you get out of school. The world really wants you to fail. They want you to be late. They want you to not have prepared for a project or whatever, because there's somebody in line trying to take your place. There's somebody in line trying to get that promotion ahead of you. So it's a dog-eat-dog world. Right now, we're telling you, look, you got to get up at a certain time because we got film, or you got to get up at a certain time because we got breakfast. Once you get out of here, once you get out of school, man, it's rough. It's rough out there. So I just want them to be prepared for that. And I always tell them, I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't at least give them the food. It's up to them to eat it, but I have to give them the food, and I can sleep at night knowing that I gave them everything I had up here that I thought would help them along the way.
Coach, one of the things that you wanted to try and do when you rebuilt this roster this year was bring in some more scoring, and you definitely did that. Ryan Forrest and Landon Glasper, one of only 5 duos in the nation right now, averaging above 18 points per game. John Lamoth averaging 11 points per game, 12.5 at home, actually. What is it going to take to get those 3 guys, your 3 big scorers in the 1, 2, and 3 slots, to have their best games all at the same time?
Well, I think, one of the conversations we had today with the group is, are you here to score, or are you here to win? If you're here to win, that's different than being here to score. And we just got to get them all thinking win, 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 all at the same time. And it's been a work in progress, but we're getting better. We're getting better at it. And one of the things that we talk about is getting the ball from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor and back to the other side. We call that the third side. One side to the second side to the third side, and shoot, if we can get it to the fourth side, that means we've swung the ball. That means we've moved the defense. And, it's take Jonathan, for instance. John never played at Maryland. So all this is new to him. So we have to give him grace. We have to give him room to go through some challenging experiences and be able to come through it on the other end and get used to it. Ryan Forrest, the same way. He played 6 games last year, so he's a freshman. So these guys are really freshmen in terms of the volume of minutes that they're getting, the volume of shots that they're taking, the volume of how they're in the middle of everything that we do, how important they are. This is new to them, being in that type of situation. So we have to allow for some grace. And you said it when you were talking to Brian. Now that they've been through, X amount of games, maybe 15, 16 games, now it's going to start to show itself because they've had these experiences. They've had, some learning times in there. And as long as we're, learning from the experiences, then we have a chance to, and we are like this thing is going to take off very shortly here, just because, and just in my experience of the way that we do practice every single day, it can't help but lead to good things for us down the road here.
Cam Shell in the building, last 2 games averaging 9 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, 3.5 rebounds per game. It seems like Cam's scoring and offense and being able to really distribute the ball around the floor, try and get those extra passes, it's starting to come back alive. Have you seen that start to rise up to that next level that you need in order to start to notch these wins?
Okay, so you say, I say John, I say Ryan in terms of didn't have that experience and getting the experience as we move forward. Okay, so somebody like Cam. Cam was a very vocal leader for us last year. Well, this year, it took on a new level of, for lack of a better term, action item for Cam, because he has guys on the floor that can score and that sort of thing. So now I'm expecting Cam to take off as well, because now he has those experiences of, okay, I know I got to go get the ball every time. Because when the ball is in my hands, I know coach is comfortable. Yep. I know we're going to call a play, we're going to execute the play, and watch. we have guys that are capable and very confident in their abilities and think as long as they have the ball in their hand, they can score. Well, that's not always accurate. You know what I mean? So we need Cam to, go get that ball. I got it. Look, and a lot of times, and I can tell that Cam is getting more and more comfortable with the group and the leadership that he has, because now what's starting to happen is I'll call out a play and he'll say, no, we're going to run. And then we'll run it. And most of the time it works. But even if it doesn't work, who cares? As long as he's taking the reins up, I'm going to live with it. I'm going to roll with what his decisions are, because I know the decisions that he's capable of making and the leadership that he's able to give to us.
And he shows in those moments how comfortable he is leading the offense and trying to be your proxy out on the floor.
And whenever you have a team that is averaging less than 10 turnovers a game, like we are, well, that means that you're getting strong leadership out there on the court from the point guard position. And we just have to continue that. He has to go get that ball and demand that these guys go to the different spots, because we're a team that when we run our stuff, we have a high probability of getting a good shot and making a shot from that.
I would assume that you have not been a part of many losses where your team has only had 6 turnovers the entire game.
No, and that's one of the things that, when you're building a program, that's one of the things that sometimes you cringe about, because you have to live with some turnovers because guys aren't used to playing with one another and that sort of thing. But shoot, we take care of the basketball. And I always joke that the real reason that we take care of the basketball, because these dudes want to shoot the ball so much. They don't want to turn it over. They want to shoot it. They want to get it up to the rim. Which is okay.
Incentive. It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Like, we have a chance to offensive rebound if we get it up there. But no, I'm really, really proud of the group, that the way that we take care of the basketball. And sometimes the turnovers that we make are turnovers that we don't even have to make. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's turnovers that we shouldn't make. But again, averaging less than 10 turnovers a game, I think is fantastic with this group.
Coach, a little bit later on, we're going to bring you back to preview the Monmouth game. But before we let you go for this segment, Nikos Hidikoutas, a guy that played the 4 last year, you asked him to move down to the 5, especially when Will Felton went down. Mm-hmm. It seems like he's been up for the challenge up until last game when he got banged up. What can you say about his evolution here in the college game, learning the American style of play? It seems like the physicality, he's embraced it.
I tell you what, it's funny because Will Felton was playing so well.
Yes, he was.
When he went down. He goes down, and now Nikos has been given an expanded role and opportunity. And I tell you what, he's taken full advantage of it.
Yeah.
Like, the guy had 22 rebounds against North Carolina Central. Like,
that's showing up for a rivalry game.
But, like, who gets 22 rebounds in a game? Like, you know how hard that is to do?
Set the school record in a single game.
He's all over the place. And that, but again, we talk about staying ready when your opportunity comes. And in my heart of hearts, I believe Stratos is going to do the same thing in this stretch where we have to play without Nikos. Stratos is just going to step up. And because in practice, we can see his skill level. The guys can see his skill level. He just hasn't been able to get an opportunity for long stretches just because Nikos has been playing so well. And before that, Will was playing so well. So it was really Nikos and Will. But again, he's getting an opportunity, and he's going to take full advantage of it. But really proud of Nikos' development and his confidence. His confidence is through the roof in terms of him being able to make plays, go to the glass, and just being a strong presence in there for us.
Oh, Coach, I think everybody wants to know who will have more assists tomorrow. Will it be Cam Shell or Stratos Kaliantzis?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons the guys love to play with Stratos, because he looks to pass it before he looks to shoot it, even when he's at the rim. And so we got to get him to be a little more aggressive around that rim and put those layups in.
Appreciate it, Coach. We will talk to you at the end of the program. Coming up here on the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show, we will hear from John Lamoth. That's next, right here on the Aggie Sports Network.
Stay tuned. The Coaches Show will be back after these messages.
Fans, be sure to visit longtime North Carolina A&T sponsor Smitty's McDonald's. 3 locations in Greensboro, including Summit Avenue, right near campus. Stop by or use your favorite delivery app today.
Good morning, America. Today, thousands of our teammates will make and deliver over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally, in towns large and small. From the heartland to the coast, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We show passion and a purpose. We love to refresh and serve our communities. We're Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Using these type of cleansers could be damaging and stripping your skin. I use new Olay cleansing melts every day. Just soak, activate, and wash to clean, tone, and refresh. That's a 3 times better clean. Olay.
The Aggie Athletic Foundation is the official fundraising arm for North Carolina A&T Athletics. By making an investment in athletics, you're providing resources that leverage our ability to recruit highly motivated student athletes who train and compete at the highest level of Division I athletics. For more information about this campaign and the AAF, please call 336-285-3063 or visit our website at aggieboosters.com.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back out to Moore Gymnasium. Spencer Turkin, the voice of Aggies basketball, now joined on the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show featuring the head coach Monte Ross by John Lamoth. We appreciate you stopping by with the rest of your teammates here tonight, getting ready for the big game tomorrow against Monmouth. Students back in town. You'll get that home court advantage again. As a player, how much do you feed off of your fellow students being at the game and really showing up for what you guys are doing out there?
I feed off the students a lot. They bring a lot of energy. They talking about the other team the whole time. They saying anything just to get in their heads, so it's just funny, and they get real loud. So I think that brings more energy to our bench, to our coaches, to our players, and it just helps us win.
John, it seems like you're really starting to get your legs under you. You're getting those reps in those games that Coach was talking about that you didn't get the opportunity to have at the University of Maryland. Has it been exciting for you to be able to get back out on the court consistently as a starter and to be able to average 11 points and just over 6 rebounds a game?
Yes, it's definitely exciting. Definitely a blessing because I didn't play a lot last year, so going from no minutes at all to about 36, 37 minutes, it's just, being able to be out there to make plays for my team and just do whatever Coach asks me to do, what possession, it doesn't matter, just trying to get the win.
I want to rewind to last game. Foul trouble, a couple of interesting calls against you there that left you with 4 fouls. You didn't get put back into the game until about 7-ish minutes left. We go into the last few seconds. You haven't scored. You have the basketball in your hand, and you put up the most important shot of the game up until that point, and you make it. Mentally, what's going through your mind as that shot is leaving your hand?
Not a lot was going through my mind. I was just trying to read the defense. I knew Lando was coming off. He's been hitting all game, so my man stayed with Lando, and I was just like, I got to make a play. So I spent off and shot it. I shot it with confidence that Coach gives me every day, and I just made the shot. So,
how hard was it with everything going on, with some calls that I know you disagreed with, that Coach disagreed with, to be able to stay focused and ready for that moment?
It was hard sitting over there because I haven't done it all year, but it was also helpful. I got to see like their guards that like their what they did like in the game, like to see what they did on offense, what they did on defense. I was able to see what was going on from a different perspective, being on the bench. But it was definitely hard because I haven't played on the bench a lot this year, so it was definitely challenging. But just being ready, staying ready to make the shot and make the defensive plays at the end.
A very talented bunch that you're a part of here. Obviously, things have not gone the way that I know you and your teammates would have liked to begin conference play. But what is the one thing that you feel like you and the rest of the guys need to do to kind of figure it out, to get over that hump and get that first conference win that should propel you to more?
I really think we just need to finish the game. We've been in the game. We've been up in most of these games. And just like Hampton, Delaware, Elon, we all started off fast. And then we get to the second half, you know, we had them 3-minute stretches where we don't score, they get anything they want. So we really just need to finish the game. I feel like position for position, we're one of the best teams in the conference. So once we put it together, we should win games.
Well, John, your journey here, can you take the fans through how you ended up at North Carolina A&T after transferring from Maryland?
Well, I went to school at St. Francis Academy, and Coach Ross was at Temple at the time, and he came to one of my practices, I think my sophomore year. So I talked to him a little bit. You know, it's a bunch of high major coaches in there, and, you know, Coach Ross is from Temple, but he still took the time to talk to me, talk to my mom for a long time. My mom actually remembered him more than I did, so it was just nice to know that he still kept tabs on me. And so when I went to Maryland, you know, I decided to go into the portal, and Coach Ross called me the first day, and Coach Raff, and I just decided it's the place I wanted to be. So, yeah.
To have a relationship builder like Coach Ross leading a program and knowing that he lays that foundation maybe 2, 3, 4 years in advance before that call comes in, how important do you think that'll be down the road for North Carolina A&T as he continues to build this thing up?
I think it'll be a good building block because, you know, Coach, you know, is really honest with the guys. You know, people that are coming from other schools, he's going to tell you exactly, you know, how he feels like you're going to fit in the system, you know, and then the campus life is great. So he's going to, you know, tell you about that too. So, you know, it's going to be a good building block, and I feel like we're going to have something special here. So.
Well, John, tomorrow night, Monmouth, chance to turn things around here in conference play and get on the right side of the win-loss record. What do the Aggies need to do, in your opinion, in order to get that job done?
I think we need to stop their hot guys. You know, they have one guy shooting a high percentage from 3, so just take that away from him and just guard everybody else and score, make the right plays, play together, but mainly just finish the game with free throws and getting stops, and I think we can win the game. All
right, before we let you go, we're heading to Towson in about a week and a half. You're from the Baltimore area. How many tickets are you going to need to request for that game?
I'm going to need a lot because I play for a lot of teams in the area. You know, in Baltimore, everybody's really tight in the basketball community. You know, I went there for Christmas break. Everybody was just happy to see me and stuff like that. But I'm probably going to have more family in at Hofstra, Towson. So, yeah, but it's going to be fun for sure.
Awesome. John, appreciate the time. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us and the AAF members that are here, and we'll talk to you tomorrow against Monmouth.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Joining us next, it'll be Associate Head Coach Jeff Rafferty, who's coming on up to the podium. The Aggies tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Flow College. You can catch A&T against Monmouth. Coach, welcome to the program. We are live.
We're live. We're live. I had no idea, folks, thank you to the AAF Foundation, but I had no idea that, Spence, this was a 24-hour YouTube.
No, not a 24-hour marathon. We're done here in a little bit.
I've listened to 3 sermons from Coach Ross today. So
it's not that many for you. You've been around Coach Ross for a long time.
11 years. I'm used to it.
So can you actually take us back to how you formed this relationship with Coach Ross? You've obviously had a lot of success as a coaching duo at Delaware, and now you've rejoined forces here at North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, well, I think we met. I recruited when I worked up north at a bunch of schools up in the Boston area, and I recruited the Philadelphia area. So we bumped into each other a bunch. And then, you know, at Delaware, he had a bunch of guys from Philadelphia on the staff, and he wanted somebody different or what have you. So I guess that was the connection. I interviewed, and it was a great 9 years at Delaware. We built a program from the ground up like we're going to do here. You know what I mean? So that's, I guess, where it all started. This situation's kind of similar to what we took over at Delaware, to be honest with you, you know, and it's different, but it's similar. And, you know, this has been it's been a fun ride, not only working. Like, one thing I'll say is, if my 2 sons, I have 3 children, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention them. If I have two sons and a daughter, and my oldest is 21, and he was a college baseball player, and now he's in the Marines. My second son is autistic, and he's in the writing and movie business. And my daughter is 16 and captain of the cheerleading team and dates the middle linebacker. And so I have issues because she looks like a supermodel. But the one thing I said when we left Delaware and I talked to the media was, if my two sons were good enough to play college basketball, there's one guy I'd send them to play for, and that's Monte Ross. So, that's how I feel about him. So when I go to work every day, I'm going to run through a wall for him. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Well, you've been out recruiting hard, trying to help him build up this program. You actually took a new path. You started to reach overseas to start recruiting, and you've brought in 2 Greek imports in Nikos Hidikoudis and Stratos Kaliantzis. So is there now a mandate that you bring in at least one European player per year to here at A&T?
Monte told me, he's like, you didn't recruit one white guy in 9 years at Delaware, and you've recruited 2 in 2 years. So, I don't know. We got lucky. We got lucky with Nikos. I had a relationship with a guy. It's actually funny, the way the whole thing worked out. I started my coaching career or what have you with the Boston Celtics as an intern. And I worked for Rick Pitino, and Rick Pitino sent me down. He didn't have a job for me, so when I was done with that internship, I went down to Texas Pan American to work for one of his assistants at Kentucky. But St. John's recruited a kid from Greece last year, and, he pulled his assistants in the office and said, I really like this kid, Nikos, find a spot for him. So that's how we got Nikos, and then, because of Nikos, I developed some relationships, and then we got Stratos. So it wasn't a whole lot of work, to be honest with you, but it's a pretty good connection because both of them are going to be pretty good for us.
Certainly. Coach, when you're scouting and getting ready for a game that falls on you to get the guys ready and come up with that scouting report, and for those who don't know, the assistant coaches split up those duties. They work out a schedule, and each coach takes a certain team and scouts them thoroughly. What goes into a scout for you? How do you get the guys ready to go for a game?
I mean, everything. Like my next scout is next Thursday. This is the longest break I'll have all year. So they usually, 4 or 5 days you have. But we'll watch 6, 7, 8 games, and then we'll tell Coach Ross the 3 or 4 games to watch. And then we clip everything up, and we just try to find tendencies in personnel and also, what they do. And then, I'll go through all their offensive sets for the year and figure out, which sets they run the most. And those are the sets that we show on video, So it's personnel's huge with us because of the way we defend, and then the most common sets that they run.
Coach, you've got to be a salesman on the road as you're trying to convince kids to come here and play for you guys at North Carolina A&T.
This is an easy sell.
What is your recruiting pitch?
This is an easy sell. The alumni base here is unbelievable. I've worked at, 9, 10 different universities, and I feel the love in the city of Greensboro for this place. And then you just walk campus, and it's a great place to live, and it's a great place to go to college, because I know the young men that we coach enjoy going to school here, and this is one of the easiest sells. Delaware was an easy sell, but this place might take the cake.
Coach, I'll take this time to let the AAF members in attendance know, and those who are watching and listening on the YouTube channel, that you join us at the end of halftime on the road for a radio segment, Raf at the Half. So if you want some in-game insight as to what's taking place, make sure you tune into the radio broadcast. Coach will bring you inside the locker room to the halftime message and let you know some of the adjustments that the team is getting ready to make, and special insider access just for A&T fans.
I don't always tell the truth. I don't want to give away our secrets.
Listen, it gets on tape pretty quickly after that, so it is what it is. Coach, appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. On the other side of this timeout, of course, on the other side of this timeout, we'll wrap things up and we'll preview the Monmouth game with the head coach, Monte Ross. That's next right here on the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Thank you, folks.
Stay tuned. The Coaches Show will be back after these messages.
Fans, be sure to visit longtime North Carolina A&T sponsor Smitty's McDonald's. 3 locations in Greensboro, including Summit Avenue, right near campus. Stop by or use your favorite delivery app today.
Good morning, America. Today, thousands of our teammates will make and deliver over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally, in towns large and small. From the heartland to the coast, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. Share a passion and a purpose. We love to refresh and serve our communities. We're Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Using these type of cleansers could be damaging and stripping your skin. I use new Olay cleansing melts every day. Just soak, activate, and wash to clean, tone, and refresh. That's a 3 times better clean. Olay.
The Aggie Athletic Foundation is the official fundraising arm for North Carolina A&T Athletics. By making an investment in athletics, you're providing resources that leverage our ability to recruit highly motivated student athletes who train and compete at the highest level of Division I athletics. For more information about this campaign and the AAF, please call 336-285-3063 or visit our website at aggieboosters.com.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back out to more Gymnasium. Spencer Turkin with you here as we get set to wrap things up with the head coach, Monte Ross. It's the A&T Men's Basketball Coaches Show. Coach, tomorrow night, Monmouth, A&T, 7 p.m. tip on Flow College. You're home, a chance to turn the tides. What should fans expect out of the Hawks tomorrow as they fly south?
Well, I hope I'm able to do this. Like, before I answer that, like I saw on the thing, Marcus Johnson came up. I wanted to give a shout out to Marcus just because of seeing his name, and he came to our game.
Yes, he did.
He came to our game, our last game. So I just wanted to give him a shout out and thank him for all his support. They are their record doesn't indicate how talented they are. Their record doesn't indicate how well they play. They have a very elite scorer in Abdi Bashir. And you can play great defense on him, and he can still score the basketball. So when you have a guy like that averaging 20, 22, 23 points a game, shooting at 44% from 3, he's a tough guard. So we're going to have to continuously throw guys at him and that sort of thing. And it's going to be a challenge for us. Jack Collins, number 13, is another guy that is really proficient at shooting the three-point shot. So we have to make sure we're guarding him and taking away that three-point shot, making him a driver. And then, what they do is, those other guys, they excel at their role. Like a guy like Madison Durr, who's, he's shooting probably about 44% from 3, not known as a three-point shooter, but, he takes his time and he makes shots, catch and shoot threes, but can really get to the hole. So they pose a multitude of problems, and our defense is going to be tested. But we'll be right there. We'll be right there. It's going to be up to us to play smart, finish the game, make free throws, make layups. And if we do that, we'll be right where we want to be.
Coach, you mentioned it. They're a team that their record doesn't indicate how much talent they have and how well coached they are. To me, it seems like this is the perfect backyard brawl that's about to happen tomorrow. Two teams that are fighting to get on the right side of the win column, that feel like they haven't shown the CAA what they're made of, should make for some good basketball.
Yeah, I think it will be. I've known King Rice for a long time, and like you say, he's a very good basketball coach and a very good leader of men, and should be a dogfight.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for bringing the team out to meet with everybody here tonight. Next A&T Coaches Show featuring the head coach Monte Ross will be February the 12th right here at Moore Gym. That'll do it for us. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Flow College as Monmouth and A&T tip off at 7 p.m. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, like and follow us on Facebook.